So continuing from our testing.html example, we are going to look at how to create lists in HTML. In HTML, there are three different kinds of lists. There is an ordered list, which uses numbers to indicate what order the element should go in. There is an unordered list, which uses symbols because it doesn't matter what order the elements go in. And there is a definition list, which does a dictionary style definition for a certain term. Now, these lists look a lot the same. In fact, ordered list and unordered list even use the same tags. So it is important, if you want to keep them different, to be keeping track of which opening tags you're using, because that's the only difference between some of these lists. To do an ordered list, you go OL, stands for ordered list, and we close it here. This by itself won't do anything, it just tells the browser that you wanted to make a list here. In order to actually have the list, you need to use li, stands for list item. For each item in your list, you need a different li tag. So this would be 0.1. You'd close the li tag here. And you would just add more points to this list by adding more li's. And you just keep going for as many points as you wanted to make in your list. And the ordered list uses numbers and looks something like this. So you'll see that it's automatically numbering my points for me because I used an ordered list. The unordered list looks almost the same, except for instead of OL, it's UL. It follows the same rules. You simply put everything you want to list in your unordered list between li tags. As I said, it will look almost the same. The only difference is OL and UL. If we save this and look at it, you can see that instead of numbers, the unordered list uses symbols such as circles. The third type of list is the definition list. The definition list actually looks quite a bit different than the other two lists. It starts the same with DL for definition list. However, the first thing you need to do when you're starting your definition list is you have to figure the term that you're going to define. So that is determined by DT for definition term. If we were to define a cat, we could write cat here and close it here. That's the term we're going to define. Under that, we're going to need the actual definition for that term, which is DD. This will be the definition for cat. If you've ever owned a cat, you'll know they're fuzzy jerks, so that's what I'll put. And if you wanted to add more points, you would just keep going like this. So if I wanted to define the dog, it would look the same. So as you see, the definition list follows a similar format to the previous list, but uses entirely different tags. Using li in a definition list won't work, and using dt or dd in a ordered or unordered list won't work. So just keep that in mind if you're making lists. You have to use the correct items for each list. Definition list will look like this, where I have the term that I'm defining, and then it will automatically indent and put the definition under it. Now, sometimes you might like to change the symbols that your list is using, and you can do that from your style sheet page. If you wanted to change the numbers, maybe, to make it look a little fancier, we are going to change our ordered list. So we'll put OL and a space so it doesn't autocorrect to olive. Open brace, close brace. When you're changing the symbol or number in front of the list, that is the list hyphen style hyphen type. We're changing the ordered list, so we need a type of number. You can use upper Roman as an example, semicolon at the back. And this will change it so that the numbers it automatically enters for my ordered list will become lower Roman numerals, which will look like this, although it might take a second to load. So that is the basics of making lists. One thing to keep in mind is that if you ever forget to close your list, maybe like this, it will not know that you meant to stop a list and try to start making things that aren't meant to be in this part of the list and just over indent. So if you're ever making lists and you notice on your page that everything is indenting further than you meant it to, likely you forgot to close your list tag somewhere. Now, Notepad is helpful in this regard because if you click on a tag, it shows you where its closing tag is paired. So if you ever click on a tag and a closing tag doesn't get highlighted, that means it's not actually been closed yet. And if you just do that, it will probably fix your indentation issues.